Hello everyone. I've taken a little break and now I'm back and I am giving you the full moon summer solstice Lisa life update. Lots to share, lots going on, and a new setting, as you can see. All right, stay tuned. There has been a lot that came up for me during this full moon cycle. I have experienced a lot of illuminations, things that were in the shadow coming up for healing, for illumination, for recognition, and I'm still processing a lot of it, so I'll share more. I've moved, new location. Now I am back in Northern California, which is also very appropriate for this 2024 year. It's an 8 year. 8 is as above, so below. It's karmic, that what we give, we receive. So it's not just immediate karma, but past karma. So it's full circle is what that means to me. I'm back where I was born in Northern California. I lived 31 years of my life here, went to LA, came back. So it's very much a full circle moment. I'll explain more. And, you know, some other things, some triggering things that have been happening that I've noticed. So all of these things have come up with this beautiful full moon. It's in Capricorn. That's a sign of structure and tradition and goals and climbing the mountains. I am a sun sign Capricorn, so it really hit home for me just over the weekend. It's also the summer solstice here in the Northern Hemisphere. So we have these beautiful warm days now, beautiful warm nights, depending where you are. The opportunity to spend more time outside. If you're inclined to get sunshine on your skin, to eat all those delicious fruits. This full moon is called a strawberry full moon for that reason. And really to check in. This is the halfway point through the year, the Gregorian calendar. So starting in January to now, June, Capricorn's a sign of goals. Where are you with your goals? Where are you with what you set out to do? How are you faring on all of that? These are all the themes that came up for me over the last few days, kind of culminating. They've been brewing, but culminating over the last few days. And I want to share more about each of them. So we'll jump in and hopefully these things are helpful. They may resonate with you. Lots to share. Big thing that was illuminated for me over this full moon period, starting on around really for me, June 19th. The full moon was actually on the 21st, 22nd, depending on where you live. And as I record this, it's a few days later, but I still really feel the presence of this moon. It illuminated for me where I have had darkness, not only had internal shadow, but where I've been in darkness, how I have kind of navigated it with only me. I'm the only one that could do this. I'm doing it alone. And all of these things brought up so much sadness for me, mainly with relationships, mainly with romantic relationships. But as I sat with the illumination of this full moon, I was reflecting on the years and years and years of challenge, failure, whether that's romantically, in a marriage, in work, in business partnerships, even with friendships. And I got really sad, and it was so hard to process. And I felt like, what have I been doing for all these years? At least 10 years of failure. It's hard. It's hard to even wrap my head around it sometimes because I'm not where I want to be. I'm still working there. I'm a work in progress. I'll tell you that right now. But I really sat in that darkness and I allowed myself to be there and just to appreciate it for what it is. And it is, again, this whole karmic balance, yin and yang, as above, so below. What you give, you receive. It's all this duality that we live with here on the planet. And I have been honoring the darkness since really I got here. But the last 10 years, I've been focusing on diving into myself through self-reflection, through meditation, through shamanism, through Reiki, through therapy, through astrology, through everything. Really, what's highlighted is go into the dark. That's where the medicine lies. And I can honestly say, without a doubt, I have done that. And I'm very proud of that. And I will continue to do it because that's how I grow. That's how we all grow. We only grow through pain and through challenge. We don't grow when things are happy and frolicky and wonderful. There's no reason to try to change, right? When things are great, we want to keep it that way. So this full moon has illuminated failure, and it has illuminated challenge, and it has illuminated how many years I've gone through that. And so once I processed that and cried about it and talked about it, I was able to see the blessings that come from the challenge and the darkness. And my heart has expanded to a new capacity. I'm in a completely different, elevated shape than I was 10 plus years ago. And it comes to full circle too, which is why being back in Northern California is so significant for me. I've been able to address things in a way with confidence, especially now as I am more elevated. The things that used to smash me, I just brush it off. That's the benefit of darkness, and it's there. And I mean, you can't avoid it. That's the other lesson, is it's going to come up. You can't avoid it. You have to commit to doing it, to going into it, to appreciating it, to honoring it for what it is, and allowing that pain to change you. So that's a really big full moon reflection I wanted to share. Maybe you resonate. If you do, write a comment. I'd love to hear what the full moon has shown you. I remember where I was in those moments of time 10 plus years ago, and I hark back to that version of me. I can feel myself going back, and it's so easy to then go back to the patterns and the beliefs and the programs. However, what I'm being challenged with is to stay here in this present version, in this present body, with this present mind and heart and soul, and remember all of the learnings. It's like I've gone through a university program, and remember, you're not back at square one. You've done all of this work to get to where you are. And yes, it's a familiar place, but you're different now. You don't have to behave in the same way as you did then. You don't have to even be around the same people as you were then. And that's been such a beautiful reminder. And why I call it a full circle moment of this year is it's showing me how much I've grown, how much I've learned, how much I've changed. And now I can bring all of this stuff almost like back home with me, is the feeling. And that leads me to how the web of destiny, the destiny plan, is so present now for me. I wasn't seeing it before. I was way too in darkness. I was way too in the weeds of like, why can't I make this work? 3D, money, goals, job, blah, 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 always achieving, that I didn't see how, and it wasn't time, let's be real, it wasn't time for me to see the destiny plan for myself, but now I see it has unlocked so clearly for me. Even my guides have been sharing more directly with me, versus before it was more like a teacher-student, now it's like teacher-teacher relationship. So it shows me how much I've grown and how I've graduated and elevated, and I'm super proud. And that's another reason why I can like breathe better when I'm here right now, is I needed to come back home to myself, home to the physical place where I came into the planet, and have such a beautiful connection. And so I'm so looking forward to making new connections, new friendships, new memories with all of the people that I love and relate with now, and the ones that I have yet to meet. It's so beautiful. It like makes me want to cry because it's so special. And then to tie in even more, my vision board, there's a link to the vision board video here. My vision board, I was guided to have more fun. My guides are like, you work too much, you don't have fun. And so I had this whole vision boarding party for my birthday with some girlfriends in an effort to have fun. And it was so fun. And what came for me, because I do it very intuitively, was a beautiful image of France and this gorgeous rosé in glasses. And I do drink alcohol. These people clinking glasses of wine and a couple of other things, but those are the two that really resonated for this moment, because when I look back on them, I remember putting it on my vision board and saying to my friends, I want to drink more this year, which to me means be more social, more fun. I don't need alcohol to do these things, but it was a symbol of doing those things, of getting together, of gathering in a joyful way. I end up in Napa Valley, the center of wine, and center in the most famous place for certain types of wine in the whole United States, basically the France of US. So I find that so wonderful, and another testament to how vision boarding has helped me and shown me my path, my destiny. Yeah, guys, it's really good. So what's next is my move. I'm back in Northern California. So how did this happen? Well, I was offered a contract with some clients in December who live here, and I was going to travel back and forth, and that was it. And then February came, March, April, we started talking. They extended their contract. They were excited to have me here as their postpartum doula. And I had a strong message come through in February, actually, where it said, you're moving to Napa. And at first I ignored it. I was like, yeah, show me how that's gonna work, like my human self, just incredulous, and it worked. So my clients extended their contract. I've been here since June with them, helping their family to adjust to their new baby and the next baby that's coming. And they have been so grateful, and they have been so generous. And in May, I decided to actually move. And every part of me said yes. My heart, my mind, my soul. Yes, yes, yes. Was it hard? Of course. Did I have grief? Absolutely. Do I miss all my friends and family in LA? Yes. I have had a process process being here. As I said earlier, it's a full circle moment. I spent most of my life in Northern California. I have visited a lot of places here. I'm returning to them now, which is quite funny. I remember I was driving on this really windy road and I was like, oh my gosh, I've cycled this road before and it was hell. So these flashbacks come in. I remember that part. I bought a brownie and it was so terrible. I was high for way too long. Anyways, as I am now in this shape and I go back in time to these places, I not only see the memory, but I feel what I felt then. I remember what I was wearing, what I was eating, what I was drinking, what I was thinking, where I was as 10 years earlier. The final thing I want to share with you about this full moon, summer solstice kind of illumination period is how change can be triggering, or rather how change brings up triggers in yourself, but also in others. And I had a recent encounter with a friend who I upset her unintentionally, unknowingly. She brought it to my attention and I apologized, but it wasn't enough. And what I really think is going on, could be wrong, but what I think is going on is there's an underlying trigger. And some people aren't ready to see it yet. I've been there. I know that I have. And it takes some time. It takes some patience. If these are your friends and family, it takes your patience. Triggers are hard because you don't see them until they're meant to be seen. And then what do you do with them? I don't advise telling people that they're triggered unless they're a very enlightened and open person, and you'll be the judge of that. This is just something to share because it might resonate for you and you might have to deal with this. We're still in the full moon period. So full moon period lasts, 3 days before and after the moon. But when they're big like this, like we have another Capricorn full moon next month. So it's going to be the same themes. So just remember that everyone's doing the best that they can. Thanks so much for watching and for being a part of this cool channel. I hope that information is helpful for you. I hope this full moon is not only illuminating, but maybe cleansing and clearing, and that you have a great summer solstice or winter solstice if you're down in the southern hemisphere. Stay tuned for the next one. Please subscribe.